we're not gonna go too crazy today, but this is a player that is, I like to discuss, and that's Luka Doncic, man. LD 77, the Wonder Boy, my favorite player in the NBA, personally, for a multitude of reasons that we'll probably get into throughout this video without me even trying. But yeah, man, it's my guy. It's my guy, Luka Doncic. But specifically, I wanted to kind of get into, you know, where is he in the league? And what I mean by that is, of course, Luka Doncic is one of the best players in the NBA. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Whether you got him top one, top three, top five, top 10, if you're insane, he's top player in the league. That's not necessarily what I wanted to get into. I wanted to kind of talk about, you know, with so much young talent in the league, arguably the most young talent we've ever had in the NBA in its history. You just think about all the players 26 and younger that are just great talents. Luka often gets grouped in with those guys. I know he's like the upper echelon, but there's just so many players to talk about. You got SGA, you got Victor Wembanyama, you got Donovan Mitchell, you got Chet Holmgren, you got Paolo Banchero, you got, just a multitude of guys. LaMelo Ball, you look over here, Alperen Şengün, you look over here. There's a player pretty much on every team that has some type of young star. And not to say that people don't respect Luka enough. I'm not saying he's disrespected. I'm just saying that a lot of times I feel like people are, kind of watching Luka like, okay, this is normal. It's not normal. It's not normal what this kid's doing. It's not normal. And Luka Doncic is already an all-time great. But what he's on pace for is to become one of the best players we've ever seen. And that's kind of what I wanted to get into, man. So without further ado, we're going to hop into it. Wanted to pull this up. Just to kind of show you guys where I'm coming from, where is this argument coming from? You know what I mean? So with LD, let me give you guys a refresher. LD comes into the league, and he's technically the fifth pick in the draft, right? He's technically the fifth pick in the draft to the Atlanta Hawks. I believe the Atlanta Hawks had the fifth pick, right? And then they trade up to 3 for Trae Young. So now Dallas technically has the third pick in the draft. And no, scratch that. The Atlanta Hawks, I remember now, off the dome, I remember this. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure I got it right now. The Atlanta Hawks had the third pick, and the Dallas Mavericks had the fifth pick, and they just drafted who the other team wanted. So LD was taken third, Trae Young was taken fifth, and then they just swapped them. Tell me if I'm wrong. I know I'm not wrong, because it's my guy. Come on. Yeah, man, so LD goes third in the draft. Under, I believe Ayton was 1 and Bagley was 2. And coming into the league, I believe Luka was coming off of an MVP in the Spanish league, playing for Real Madrid at the age of 17, 18. But there were question marks, European, can he handle the physicality? Is he too slow? Does he have the athleticism? There was a lot of things. That people were saying. But me personally, quote me. Hey, you guys can't quote me because y'all weren't there. Ben knowing Luka was going to be that guy. Because I saw the way the game was going towards like more of a skill type of game. And not to say that I didn't think Ayton was going to be a good player. I did. I thought Ayton was going to be way better than he is now. Even Bagley, I can't even lie. I thought Bagley was going to be a really good player as well. But that doesn't mean that I didn't think Luka was better than both of them. Now, if I'm being completely honest with myself, I thought him and Ayton was a toss-up. But I for sure thought Luka should be taken over Bagley, which he wasn't. Shout out to Kings fans on that one. But yeah, came in, 19 years old, coming off an MVP in the Spanish league. Puts up 21, 8, and 7. All right, so we're like, this kid's special. Plays 72 games. Has never come off the bench yet in his entire career. You look at his shooting splits. I mean, he was attempting a lot of threes already. So you look at the 33%. We had some optimism that he could get that up. Field goal percentage, same thing. He was taking a lot of shots as a rookie coming in, but that just showed that belief in him that they had. And honestly, talent's always going to shine through. You know what I mean? So I know coming in, they had Dennis Smith. They had some core guys there. Correct me, was Harrison Barnes still on the roster? I'm not even sure. But what I'm trying to say is talent shines through. So regardless, LD showed, hey, this is, if not my squad right now, it's going to be my squad very, very soon. And was he wrong? He wasn't. So got Rookie of the Year. And this is where the biggest jump comes right here. And this is where I feel like we knew, okay, is this kid going to be like a really, really good player? Because we've seen people come in, win Rookie of the Year, put up great stats. Tyreek Evans, Michael Carter-Williams, we've seen that. But the second year is when we're like, all right, like now we know who you are. What can you really do? And what can Luka really do? He can put up 29, 9, and 8. Finishes fourth in MVP voting his second year in the NBA. Finishes all NBA first team. And by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, going into his 7th season this upcoming season. So 6 seasons so far. He's been all NBA first team 5 out of 6. 5 out of 6 times. 5 out of 6 times he has finished all NBA first team. Keep in mind, only 5 players are selected to that team in the entire NBA. So arguably you could say that Luka Doncic has been a top 5 player since his second year and every single year since then. Of course, he has missed games here and there. You're looking at these seasons, 21, 22, 23. He has missed games, but consistently he's never had any big injuries. He's always played above, 60 games, which I know is kind of a caveat there. But compared to some of the other superstars in this league, Luka Doncic is relatively a healthy player. Even looking at his first year, 72, and his latest season, arguably his best season, 70 games. And then, so we jump up to the 29, and you skip up to this year, right, where he leads the league in scoring, 34 points per game, maintains the same rebounds and assists, upped his assists, had a career high in assists at 10, pretty much 10 assists per game. The rebounds has kind of been consistent at 9 for the past couple of seasons. But you look at his splits, right, and this is where it really gets interesting because he's improving. He's making the game look easier, but defenders are starting to game plan more for him. They know he's a top player in the league. These coaches, they know he's a top player in the league, and they still can't stop the kid. They still can't stop him. 49% from the field, 38% from 3 on 11 attempts. 38% from 3 on 11 attempts is, I mean, obviously he's not Stephen Curry, right, who's going to put up, 12 attempts on 43% from 3. But that's the best player. That's the best shooter ever. Luka Doncic is a multi-3-level scorer, multifaceted scorer. 11 attempts on 38 is elite. Absolutely elite. And yeah, every single season, obviously he had that great second year, 28, 32, 34, 8.8, 8.6, 8.7, 8, 10. Luka Doncic is improving still. Coming into the season, he's going to be 25 years old. Now, I know these are just numbers. These are just stats. But that's the thing, though. They're not. Because Luka Doncic has shown that he can grow his game. The first star they ever brought to play alongside Luka Doncic was obviously Kristaps Porzingis. It didn't go the best. Now, whether you want to blame that on Luka, you want to blame it on Kristaps being injured, the facts are the facts. It didn't go that well, right? People nitpick Luka for that. They said he played hard in ball. He can't, be surrounded by other stars and succeed, which you need in the league today. You need to be able to, play with other stars, if not at least one other star. So who do they bring in? The most polarizing star in the league at the time. A ball handler. Pause. A player that most people coming in did not think was going to fit the greatest with Luka. If we're being honest, I remember people weren't just saying, oh, Kyrie and Luka's a great fit. Nobody was saying that. Some people were saying, hey, it could work. But a lot of people were saying, hey, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. Luka dominates the ball. Kyrie dominates the ball. Kyrie's a diva. Luka's a diva. And you look at the stats going up these past couple of years. You look at him leading the league in scoring this year. You're like, okay, but are they winning? Yeah, buddy. NBA Finals. NBA Finals. And if they weren't going against Boston, who we need to have a talk about as being one of the best constructed teams we've seen in a very long time, they would have had a chance. But we know Luka was injured in the playoffs. I'm not going to give him an excuse because we know a lot of players are injured going into the playoffs. But Luka was actually really hurt. You could tell. You could tell by watching him he wasn't himself. He wasn't himself. Kyrie, had a couple of stinkers. And like I said, you're going against Boston, a perfect matchup for Dallas. You have 4 good defenders. Drew, Derek, Jalen, Jason. And then in terms of specifically for Luka, you have every matchup that you could ever want throwing at him. You got big bodies like Jalen and Jason. You got the best perimeter defending backcourt in the NBA in Drew and Derek. I mean, it was just a bad matchup for the Mavs. But in terms of what Luka accomplished this season, spectacular. And like I just showed you guys, in terms of what he's accomplished thus far in his career, I didn't even know y'all couldn't see that. 34, 10, 9. I mean, what are we saying right now? Now, with that being said, in the NBA right now, I would have to say that Luka he's the second best player in the league. I got to give Jokic his props. I got Jokic at 1. I think Luka's close behind. I know he has his deficiencies on the defensive end, but it's such an offensive-centric league these days that I feel like offense just outweighs defense on a heavy scale, to where if you're a great offensive player, i.e. Stephen Curry, you don't have to be a two-way player for you to be a top player in this league. Now, can Giannis retake that second spot? And I think those 3 are in the category of their own. Like most people would agree, Giannis, Luka, and Jokic, I think, are the top 3 in the league, hands down. Can Giannis retake that this season? Yeah, but with the season that Luka just had, I can't put Giannis above him right now. I just can't. I can't do that. So I have him as the second best player in the league right now at the age of 25. But the reason I made this video is to tell you guys that, honestly, I think Luka can go down as a top 10 player. I think he can go down as a top 10 player in the league. I think he can go down as a top 5 scorer to ever play this game. I think he can go down as a top 7 playmaker to ever play this game. I think he can go down as a top 10 player to ever play this game. I mean, in my opinion, if you're looking at it statistically, not in terms of play style, not in terms of, obviously what was to come in terms of accolades and things of that nature, MVPs if you want to say that. Statistically, counting stats, he's on a LeBron level trajectory. He's on a LeBron James level trajectory. Now, of course, LeBron, was already at the MVP level at this point, and of course, LeBron was an elite defender at this point. But also keep in mind, we're comparing him to the best player to ever play the game. I didn't say he was going to be the best player to ever play the game. I just said he was going to be a top 10 player. And there's some attributes where Luka's a lot better than LeBron. Shooting the rock, scoring at this point, already better. So, yeah, man. Had to shine some light on my boy LD77. I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below. I mean, look at this, man. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. what you guys think about Luka going into the season. Do you have him for MVP? Do you have him for MVP? Because honestly, I'm probably gonna make a video on that executive survey that just came out. They didn't. I'm gonna just tell you right now, they didn't have Luka. So how do you guys? However you guys want to take that, that's how you want to take that. You guys know how I felt about that. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Am I crazy to say that Luka can be top 10 all time? I don't know, man. Y'all let me know. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Like I said, we got to start really getting in the lab. We're going to be pushing out this NBA content with the season coming up in just a few weeks. So got to start pushing it out for you guys. Had to shine some light on my boy Luka, though. Y'all get active in the comment section, though. I want to hear y'all's thoughts. But anyway, man, Tommy Uno, appreciate y'all tuning in. Always love, always love. Y'all take it easy. Y'all be safe. Out of here. Peace. Peace out.